Selvam about 4 or 5 years ago, and I came across this really enthusiastic, full of energy, full of life kind of a guy, passionate for God, and that's what really attracted me to him. And I think he was writing songs even back then, and people were being blessed. And it took a while for God to work in him and those songs to really come out. But working on this album, Pyaar Karta Hoon, has been such a great blessing. I have personally believed in Selvam. I believe he has a call on his life. I believe he has a passion for God. I believe he has a pure heart, a clean heart to serve God, and that's what makes it so special for me to work on this album. One amazing thing about Selvam is that the songs that he writes are really simple and they're easy to follow, they're congregational. Anybody can sing those songs, and that makes it so special for the church because these are songs that you can just pick up and sing on your Sunday morning service. Selvam came to me with a bunch of his songs, and it took us a while to go back and forth with them and basically just make minor tweaks here and there, and that's where some of this experience comes into the picture. People often ask me, which studio should I record my first album at? And my answer to them was, it doesn't matter which studio you record, but who are you recording with? Because sometimes it just takes a good guide, a good mentor, a good producer to be able to find out that diamond within the coal and just pull it out. It takes some years of experience to be able to identify a song in its raw form and to be able to visualize people singing it, thousands of people singing it in congregations on a Sunday morning or at a crusade, and to be able to bring out the raw song and polish it till it's finally there. So it was an amazing journey for us, it was an amazing task. What made this project really challenging was that Selvam had a deadline to release it, and that deadline was roughly around 1 month, and so we had technically just about 20 days from the scratch recording to the first final master. And think about 20 days to produce an album. It's crazy. For us to do justice to the project was extremely hard. I knew from day one it was either a call to take it forward or to drop it right there. But we prayed about it and we sensed God, who gives us grace in every situation, will give us grace in this challenge as well. And so from day one till the 20th day, I was practically in the studio day and night. And we did our scratch tracks. Selvam came in and we recorded the scratches, the demos. And based on those demos, I called a very dear friend of mine, William Soames. You know him as Sana, he also does sound with us. It was a joy to work with Sana on this album. William Soames, he is also our band's live sound engineer. Also a fantastic worship leader, an amazing guy with a passion for God. The best part about him, he's an all-rounder, okay? He plays every instrument. But the thing about his drumming is that, there's something about every hit that is so consistent and clean. And even the rolls and stuff, it's just what is required, nothing more, nothing less. And personally, I'm a huge fan of his drumming, and I think it sits great on recordings. And so I chose Sana for this project, and we sat together on 2 occasions, 2 sessions, 2 morning sessions. We nailed all the drum parts together, and it was amazing fun doing it at a shot. Drums are the backbone of a song, and many times if you get the drums just right and adequate with the right builds, the right level differences, and you've got to just look at it as steps. And if you get the drums right, you have the song going in a great direction. Sometimes if the drums are all out of place, and if there's too much, then you might not have a great place for the rest of the instruments to sit in together. Nicky was on guitars, and Nicky is an amazing friend. He was also managing the studio around that time, and so Nicky is one of the really good guitarists that I know across this country. I have I played with so many different guitar players, but Nicky has something special about him in terms of carving out new parts, new ideas, fresh thoughts, and I think he's really versatile. And so we put together some great guitar parts. Nicky and I always tend to fight about things. We tend to fight about ideas, about solos. We always have disagreements, but that's the fun of working together as a team. You tend to have disagreements, but you still come together to bring out something that's quite awesome. So Nicky and I put together those phenomenal guitar parts. It's just added so much value. For me, I had not played keyboards in a really long time, and Selvam asked me to play keyboards on this project. I laughed it out at first, but then going through the ideas and some great synth parts and piano parts, and so what I did is I layered those parts in, and it's turned out quite decent, in fact, I would say. And so it's a joy for me that my skill of keyboard playing could be used, arrangements could be used, and I also happen to play bass on this album. The first rock band that I played for, I joined as a bass player. This is back about probably 13-14 years ago, and I was happy to play bass on this album, on this project, and I hope you like those bass lines. Working on the song Anmol Ho was a unique experience for me. 4 different singers, in fact more than 4, but my wife Anita, Selvam's sister Mani, Beena Samuel and Shelly Reddy, and these 4 different voices, they have different tonal textures. One is husky, one is sweet, one is mellow, and you've got all these different voice textures that you've got to mix it with the right volume levels and the right EQ and all of that in one mix, and it was quite challenging, but I loved especially that day of recording when they all came in and did their parts. It was amazing just to have these wonderful women of God just come into the studio, do their parts and go. Anita was a great help for me on this project to encourage me and to give her valuable inputs from time to time. So I think you're going to enjoy, especially ladies, sisters, you're going to enjoy and love this song Anmol Ho, because you are precious, and that's what the song says. One of the things that we are doing consciously is to bring artists together, and I'm so happy that we could record this here at Bread Butter Jam Studio, where we continuously encourage and support young Christian artists who've got good songs but don't have a great platform or don't have a great recording facility. We are here to help and guide and mentor you, and so I'm happy and excited that this was another milestone project for us. Also at Jago Music, we are constantly talking about bringing artists together, bringing worship musicians together, and encouraging and supporting one another so that together we can bring God's kingdom in this nation. And it's a great joy because this project is a huge success for us in terms of the collective corporate vision of raising the level of worship in India. And like I always say, our theme, our vision statement is to take Indian worship to the nations, and I believe through Pyaar Karta Hoon, worship music from India is going out to the nations again. 20 days of day and night in the studio. Sometimes when you're working like that, your family members look at you like a zombie, dark circles everywhere, and I think that was my experience for these 20 days working on this project. You're just working around the clock, especially when you're approaching the deadline. You're just looking at the watch, you're looking at the clock, you're looking at your work, and you're working hard against the deadline. And so there's immense amount of effort on this project, and I encourage you to put a value on some of those efforts and support this project, support Selvam, support Pyaar Karta Hoon, support good Christian music in India, and I'm sure you will be blessed. I've been listening to it. It's the only CD playing in my car currently, and I love it. I enjoy it day in and day out. It's just $100 for you to order it online. So it's available on iTunes, it's available on Amazon, on Christcard, and you have every reason why you can buy this album. Don't hesitate, go for it. Send in your best wishes to Selvam on Facebook, like his page, support him. So do your best to support Selvam on this project, Pyaar Karta Hoon, and do your best. Connect with him on Facebook, like his page, buy his music online. The best is yet to come, and I'm sure Selvam really needs your support at this stage to move further. Help him be a blessing to the entire community. God bless.
मैं तुझसे प्यार करता हूँ, मैं तुझसे प्यार करता हूँ, मैं तुझसे प्यार करता हूँ, यीशु, मैं तुझसे प्यार